Number 1, Joey Gallo leads the team in home runs. Joey Gallo's first year in pinstripes will forever be remembered as awful. He hit just 160 with an OPS hardly above 700, and in his one and only playoff game, batted cleanup and put up a non-competitive 0 for 4. However, there are a couple reasons to believe he'll bounce back. For starters, he is a really good baseball player, and I know this can quickly turn into a never-ending debate, but for the sake of this video's length, I'll leave it at this. He gets on base, he hits for great power, and he's an elite outfielder. I'm not going to let a 58-game sample size determine whether or not the guy is good. Now, secondly, and I did a whole separate video on this, by the way, but there was a 2-week stretch in September where it seemed Gallo had finally found his stroke. From September 3rd to the 17th, he had a 1.078 OPS with a 178 WRC+. And then he hurt his neck and was never good again from then on. So assuming he's healthy in 2022, it's reasonable to say the 28-year-old will lead the Yankees in home runs, especially considering when he first arrived in July, he instantly had the most on the team with 25. Number 2, Gary Sanchez has his best season since 2017. This one might be the boldest of the video, and we all know Gary's story over the last few years, inconsistency and disappointment. And we're so far removed from 2017 now that I almost forgot how insane his numbers were that year. First off, the 122 games he played, that remains a career high, but he had a slash line of 278, 345, 531 with 33 homers, 90 RBIs, a 131 WRC+, and a 4.3 WAR. Looking back, he honestly deserved even more recognition for the year that he got, but I guess at the time, we all thought that was just the beginning, and then, we all know what happens next. But anyways, can Gary ever be that good again? Well, yes, because he has been, and that's my answer. Well, almost as good, I'll say. Remember how the year started for Gary, 2021? 2 homers in his first 2 games, and struggled, eventually lost half his job to Kyle Higashioka, etc. Well, from May 1st up until he got COVID on August 4th, he had an 815 OPS with 15 homers and a 121 WRC+ over 66 games. Remember, his WRC+ in 2017 was 131. So for over a third of the season, Gary was producing offense almost on par or somewhat close to being on par with his 2017 production. Regardless, 121 WRC+, 100% we would take that from Gary this year. But point is this, he's still capable, and when making a bold prediction, that's the kind of stuff I look at. Is it possible? If it is, then it works. And there is a world where Gary Sanchez puts up his best season since 2017 in 2022. And keep in mind, I'm not saying better than 2017, but just his best, meaning from 2018 on. Number 3, Clay Holmes is a top 3 reliever in the American League. Clay Holmes was absolutely dominant during his Yankee tenure in 2021, and not to brag, I did say it was a good trade at the time, but it's not like I can gloat too much because anyone could see it. The dude's stuff was filthy. He just needed to locate enough to keep the ball within the strike zone, and that's part of why I love the Clay Holmes acquisition, because the Yankees just straight up said to him, bro, just throw strikes, and he did that. He went on to post a 1.61 ERA with 34 strikeouts and just 4 walks. In his 42 prior innings with Pittsburgh, he'd walked 25. He totally turned his season around, and possibly his career as well in New York. And hey, if he's the same guy in 2022 that he was with us in 2021, this prediction's a slam dunk. Number 4, Luishill wins AL Rookie of the Year. From Gary Sanchez to Aaron Judge to Gleyber Torres and Miguel Andujar, the Yankees have had numerous great rookie seasons in recent memory, and while those were a couple years ago now, we might be in store for another one this year in 2022. Luishill is one of the players I'm most excited about on the Yankees this year. And for those who don't know, the Yankees got him in 2018 from the Twins in a deal for Jake Cave. And up until last year, he'd somewhat flown under the radar. But now entering 2022, he's ranked the Yankees' 4th best prospect and 96th overall. And from what we saw of him in limited big league time this year, it's easy to understand why this kid grades so high. Over 6 starts, the right-hander posted a 3.07 ERA with an 11.66 K per 9. He also became the first pitcher in MLB history to have a scoreless start in his first 3 appearances. Hill's stint in the Bronx wasn't perfect, however, he struggled with his command heavily at times, walking 19 batters in 29 innings, so definitely some work to be done, but with our elite and brilliant pitching coach Matt Blake at his side, Hill could prove crucial to the outcome of the 2022 season, and a Rookie of the Year award might just come along with it.